Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, Internet, and welcome to Duggar Music Corner. I'm your host, Mike Duggar, and welcome to the final episode of Billboard Top 4 Reviews, where I discuss the newest top 40 songs of Billboard Hot 100. 11 songs this month. Let's get started.
Bury me in Georgia, let me rest in peace.
Oh great, more Kane Brown. That Thank God song was all over the place in the first half of 2023, and I did not enjoy one bit. I probably dislike that song more than anyone in this community, but whatever. Here's his follow-up with Barbie in Georgia, and I couldn't give two shits about it. Kane's performance is too processed, the lyrics about him wanting to be buried in Georgia exist, and the country rock production is just all over the place. I mean, I guess I can understand what type of emotion the producers were trying to go for here, but in my humble opinion, they did not do it right. The only reason why I'm not completely feeling this song is that at least this one has some energy to it, unlike that Sapfest's Thank God, but otherwise, I'd be okay if I never heard this track again. Very low 2 out of 5.
I ain't proud of all the punches that I've thrown in the name of someone I no longer know.
Heh. I never thought this song would make a comeback in mainstream again. Well, I mean, Snap by Rosalind was an international hit in the fall last year, so seeing this crossover shouldn't be surprising. And I thought people hated the stomp-clap folk era of the early 2010s. But we have Dial Drunk, which reminds me a lot of something Mumford Sons would make, and I mean that as a compliment because this is a pretty solid song. I really dig the banjo here. Not only is it catchy as fuck, but makes for a captivating listen, which is more true when you read the lyrics. Here, Noah has just been arrested because he was drunk driving, and now he's trying to reach out to an ex whom he promised to let her be by giving the cops her number as his emergency contact in a desperate attempt to get her to call him back despite all the pain he's put her through with his alcoholism, and knowing that because of that she ain't gonna answer back. And that's exactly what happened. The cops attempted to call her and she immediately hung up, leaving this guy in the dumps. I think Noah does an admirable job selling the emotion of this desperate but still heartbroken story, and his vocals fit the instrumentation really well. Also want to give props to that chorus and bridge, which I feel would go off in karaoke bars, especially when we sing them drunk! Overall, good song is getting a 4 out of 5.
You're pulling me closer, your head on my shoulder. We never let go and we never be over.
This is a mediocre country ballad, more importantly, one I'm gonna forget when the year is over. 2 out of 5.
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Hey! It's one of the best musicians of the 21st century making a return to the top 40! Even if it's for that soundtrack to the new Barbie movie that just came out, and she wasn't one of the artists that was teased for at first. You know, due to star-studded soundtrack and the whole phenomenon this whole movie caused, it actually made me, a person who's not really into movies all that much, actually drive up to my local movie theater and watch the film, and I have to say, I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely live up to the hype with a great story and some talented actors and actresses. Oh, and the soundtrack had some pretty damn good music, with What Was I Made For easily being the best song from it. I actually didn't even listen to the song full until I saw the film, which in context made for a very emotional final scene, which I don't think I should spoil right now. But without the context, damn, is it a very relatable song. And here, Billie is singing about her purpose in life and where she fits in society as a role model for women while struggling to feel something. It's also been inspired by some creative struggles she's been having recently in her music career, and this message hits really hard as someone who's too been having some creative struggles and still trying to find purpose in my life. As usual, her older brother Phineas did the production work on this track, and it is just so heartbreaking yet comforting, and it is perfect for a person reflecting on what exactly were they put on the earth for, and Billie definitely brings this message to life with her heavenly vocals. What can I say? This one just does not miss with her music, but What Was I Made For is definitely the song that I need right now as a college graduate trying to find out where I want to go from here. And while I doubt this might happen, I really hope it sneaks on the 2023 year, cause I don't think a hit song made me feel this this many strong emotions since... Can't tell you! It's a secret. But what's not a secret is that What Was I Made For easily gets a perfect 5 out of 5!
You brush past me in the hallway and you don't think I can see it through you.
So over the weeks, we've had an influx of album bombs, and the biggest one so far, of course, has come from Taylor Swift, who released her version of Speak Now. That album happened 2 weeks ago, and I was originally planning on doing my July review on that week because I didn't feel like doing it with my normal week where I'd be reviewing for Lil Uzi Vert songs that did nothing for me. But I went against it because I haven't listened to the OG Speak Now, and I wouldn't know how to review the Taylor's versions of the songs without listening to the old versions. But for this week, she only has the highest abused song from the album bomb in the top 40, and it's one that wasn't even on the OG album. Well, what do I think about the song? Should this have been on the original album? I don't know. But what I do know is that I kinda like this song. If I had to describe this song in one word, I'd say that it's hot. So fucking hot. I think I'm using the appropriate adjective because if you read the lyrics, they are very horny for a pre-1989 T-Swift track. What kind of makes this more horny would be Taylor's performance. Everything about it, especially the I, are just so sensual and seductive. And those guitar riffs are just so hypnotizing. God damn, this song just works way better than it has any right to. I mean, in a way, I can see why this was left off Speak Now since this was when Taylor still had that girl next door image, and if she had recorded this in 2010, she might not have pulled it off well as she does as a 33-year-old, but damn does she pull this off effortlessly now. I could hope this song becomes a hit to make the year and this year, but that's not gonna happen. It's already fallen out of the top 40, and it's unlikely that Taylor's gonna get any song from any of her album remakes to be hits other than that one song that I still haven't discussed in the video yet. But hey, at least Taylor's keeping her continued winning streak with me with this song, and I'm happy to give it a 4 out of 5.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a Ken. Like.
And now for the biggest Barbie hit. The closest thing on a soundtrack to incorporate Barbie Girl in any form. One of the worst songs of all time. I don't care if it's gotten revisionism over the years. That song is fucking abysmal. Low since the age of 8. Long before I discovered the music critique community. And a couple months before Thomas Shadow started reviewing music. And you know you've made an irredeemable song when 8-year-old me had extreme negative reaction to it. As for Barbie World, well, to my surprise, Nicki and Spice were somehow able to make this song tolerable enough for me to not be put off by that atrocious sample. I mean, I'm not impressed with either of their flows or any of the Barbie references, but I guess they don't do too bad of a job here, and I kinda like how they trade bars on the hook at least. As for the beat, well, like I said, it works for me in spite of the Barbie Girl sample, but at the same time, the sample is the only thing that the song has going for it. Remove that and it's just a generic drill beat. If the soundtrack creator really needed to use any song to incorporate the defining Barbie song, they should have just used Not Your Barbie Girl by Ava Max. She was the one person that was able to put the Barbie Girl melody into good use somehow. And why didn't they use that song for Ava? You have Ava Max on the soundtrack to a Barbie movie, and instead of using a song from her that actually talks about Barbie in some way, you made her sing a shittier version of Kings and Queens. I mean, to be fair, Choose Your Fire is better than Not Your Barbie Girl, but still, missed opportunity right there. Anyways, final verdict. Barbie World is a vast improvement over Barbie Girl, but I still feel like this song has no reason to exist other than the Barbie Girl sample, and I know this was only made for a soundtrack because of Mattel's beat with Aqua's record label. Thus, the actual Barbie Girl, thankfully, not appearing on the soundtrack. Princess Diana, and especially Not Your Barbie Girl, outsold, and Barbie World gets a 2 out of 5.
Now I'm in this cold bright light, and this don't even feel like life.
And now we have the Morgan Wallen ripoff, who's not really that better than Morgan. I mean, I like his hits from last year more than most of Wallen's hits, and plus he hasn't said the N-word as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like I've been impressed by this man either. And with his dirt hit Religiously, this could go on par with one of Morgan's bad hits, cause this is not a good song. It's just another whiny melodramatic breakup song about how he screwed up a relationship, and you know what I always say about songs like these. If you don't sell them well, I tune out, and that's the case with this song. song. Bailey sounds too obnoxious here for me to sympathize with his pain, and the lyrics here use too much religious imagery. Like, it focuses less on how he messed up on the relationship and more on how he misses his woman and how he's not there to love him religiously. Ugh, just stop. But yeah, this song kinda sucks and is easily the weakest hit of the 3 he's had thus far. 1 out of 5.
People dream high in the quiet of the night. You know that I caught it.
Huh, I did not expect to see this song finally take off. I mean, Taylor has been having a huge year with Midnight, Speak Now TV, and especially the Eras Tour, undeniably the biggest tour of the 21st century. And this former lover Tika have been a fan favorite among Swifties for years. So a Taylor Swift song from 2019 blowing up in 2023 does kind of make sense. It was actually supposed to be a single for Lover in the summer of 2020, but COVID happened. And having a song called Cruel Summer charting in what was actually a cruel summer would have been distasteful for like a better word. So when Taylor finally had this beloved Dika as a staple at her legendary Eras tour, the song started trending on TikTok and reaching new stream peaks, which caused the song to re-enter the top 50 in June, and eventually it got shipped to radio, which was an indication that the song had finally been released as a single after 4 years, and now it's becoming one of the biggest hits of 2023, which is a great thing because Taylor deserves to have a single from Lover to make a year, and that doesn't suck. Also, the song is fucking amazing. Don't know how to describe it, but it's just a damn perfect pop song. The simple instrumentation is atmospheric. Taylor's vocals are exhilarating, and we can't forget about the bridge, which is iconic. Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo wouldn't exist without the song. I think that alone justifies the song being amazing. I don't think this is the best song titled Cruel Summer for the record, but I'm glad to see a really amazing track like this get a resurgence, as this might be the best hit we've revived since, well, the song that started the trend of reviving old songs in the first place. I'm gonna have fun gushing about Taylor this year, and this song runs away with a 5 out of 5.
I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine.
Okay, fine, I'll admit it, I didn't give this song a fair chance the first few times I heard it. When I first saw that Olivia was returning with a song called Vampire, I was expecting a full-blown goth rock song about something vampire related with all these dark and edgy lyrics, and when it turned out to be about that sounded like Driver's License Part 2, I was very underwhelmed. It didn't help that she only uses a vampire metaphor in the last 3 lines of the chorus, with everything else being a non-melodramatic breakup ballad. Then I watched a live stream Levy did hours after the song came out, and when I saw my favorite artist of the decade make a surprise appearance and endorse Vampire, I listened to it again myself, and I started to see the song for what it's trying to be rather than what I wish it was. And holy shit, this song is good. It's really good. Levy gives the emotive performance she always does. The production switch-ups are on point, and despite still wishing that she had leaned into the vampire references for this melodramatic Broadway-style ballad, the song is still very well written for a breakup song where some older guy took advantage of her fame and young age. I still wouldn't go as far to call it great, cause in terms of melodramatic ballads from Levy, I prefer the style of Traitor or Favorite Crime, but if Driver's License can be a great song to me after multiple listens, so can Vampire. I've already played it over 200 times, and it's only gotten better with each listen to a point where I'm now very upset it's fallen off the charts quickly. Guts can't come soon enough, and I'll be looking forward to what she has under the belt with that album, and considering Tate said in the live stream that the album was really good, shit, now I'm even more excited to hear the other songs from that album. Even if I wish your comeback was a little bit better, Olivia, it's good to have the second best artist of 2020s back on the charts again. I give Vampire an extremely high 4 out of 5.
Young got no one that back calling me splurge. Ride me jump right off the curb. Bentley spread fly like a bird. Spin on the first and the third.
On the first week of July, Gunna had his album with A Gift and a Curse, and his album seems to be the one album that generated a big hit, as Fuck You Me is gearing up to be a stable hit, and for once, I won't complain about that, as this is pretty above average for a Gunna song. The content really isn't anything special with its flexing drugs, women, wealth, and the usual shit, but I do enjoy the production with the dreary pianos, flutes, and percussion, and the constant yep and Fuck You Mean chants are merely infectious. As for Gunna himself, while I usually don't care for him as an MC, his flows actually weren't that bad here, and he rises to be better than expected. So yeah, this song's alright to me, and I give it a 3 out of 5.
Weight of the world on your shoulders.
You know, I never thought I'd be happy seeing one of the members of BTS debut at number 1, but here we are. They not only knocked Morgan off the number 1 spot for another week, but they even created a gap between the two songs on the chart cause Last Night have fallen to number 3, and number 2 seems empty. Hell, I'm even wondering if the ARMY did that much damage to the chart cause as 7 fell down to 9 on its second week, guess what rose up to number 1? Not Last Night! Yeah! For the first time in Billboard history, we have no song on the top spot! Interesting. Anyway, besides that really kicking out Morgan off the top spot for 2 weeks, does this song have anything going for it? Not really. I mean, I guess I kinda like the acoustic guitar paired with a two-step garage production. Been a while since we've had two-step crossover to America, but the lyrics are kinda weird coming from Jung Kook. The song is obviously about how he's gonna fuck this one right while he counts all the days of the week, and what doesn't work for me is the stupid counting gimmick, which makes this more corny than it needs to be, and yeah, that's the main issue. Jungkook's not the right person to sell a guy wanting to get his freak on. His entire performance, especially his falsetto, makes what should be a very sexy song turn into one of the most embarrassing pop songs I've heard in recent memory. And no, having Latto on the song doesn't give you more stud credit cause her verse was very unimpressive and she's just not the right person to do pop rap. You know, I never thought I'd admit this with any song out loud, but I think I might prefer the clean version over the explicit one, cause while it's not really that better, at least Jungkook does a better job selling loving a woman than fucking one. Anyone can sell loving a woman if they put effort, but when it comes to fucking a woman, you have to have the confidence, swagger, and not come across as creepy. And I'll give it that 7 doesn't come across creepy territory like I Wanna Fuck You by Akon or Tonight I'm Fucking You by Ricky Iglesias, but there is a list of people I do want to hear sing about fucking a chick, and Jungkook is far from one of those people. So I have to get... Actually, you know what? Since this is the last song I'm reviewing for a series, I think I'll cheat and rate the censored version by giving it a low 3 out of 5.
Night after night, I'll be loving you for 7 days a week.
And those were my thoughts on the songs in the top 40 as of July 29th, 2023. I mean, compared to the other months I've had to deal with this year, at least I can say we ended on a decent note. A couple songs I enjoyed, not that many I'd say suck. I plan to work with this month. Kinda makes me glad the latest review by 2 weeks, because if I'd done it on the week I was supposed to do it, we would have had another subpar month. But instead, we conclude the Billboard Top 4 review series on the most interesting month I've had since February 2023, which is still the best month of the year, by the way. But it's awards time. The best of the month goes to YouTube crit darling Billie Eilish with the emotionally relatable ballad that is What Was I Made For, and Livy's former idol Taylor Swift gets the honorable mention with Cruel Summer. Yeah, I was hoping that Taylor's old project would be in second place, but Vampire unfortunately didn't grow on me fast enough. Now, the battle awards are harder as there's not really much to dislike here. Well, since Kane Brown's Barbie and Jordan was close to get a 1 out of 5, I'm giving that the dishonorable mention with quotation marks, and what's a month is obviously Religiously by Bailey Zimmerman, because I can't think of anything else in the top 40 I haven't talked about that sucks here. And if there is one, I refuse to acknowledge it. Alright, so just to be clear, I'm not joking about this being the final episode of Billboard Top 4 reviews. Once this video gets uploaded, that's it for the series. No episodes for August, September, October, or November. Listen, I've been mulling over whether to cancel this series for a couple weeks now, and after giving it some thought and looking at what's charted recently in America, I thought it was time to retire it. It was a hard decision as this series is the only thing that's keeping my channel afloat at this point, but if I keep relying on this series as my channel income without doing anything else, I won't get anywhere. And besides, I haven't really been enjoying making these videos as I used to be honest. They've become more of a chore than anything, so it's probably for the best that I quit now instead of waiting until the end of the year to do so. As for what to expect next for the agenda, well, I got 2 more rank downs in the work. One of them is the 2023 rank down, and once I've completed both of them, I am done with reviewing my music as a whole. But I just wanted to thank everyone who supported my old method in keeping up modern music and sharing your takes on whatever songs I talked about each month. I never really kept up with modern music this quickly until I began this series, and I was able to immerse myself into different genres, artists, songs, trends, and so much more because of this series. I also enjoyed the excitement I get when a song I adore that's showing the lower half of the Hot 100 gets in the top 40, thus allow me to give it the praise I think it deserves. I have learned so much from doing this series, and even though it's now become an outdated way to keep up with modern music at this point, and I'm now burnt out on what the American public's listening to, I'm glad that this series was able to help me expand my horizons and have an open mind on certain artists and genres that I didn't before doing this, and thank you once again to those who decide to use me as one of your guides on what's going on in the current music scene. I'm Mike Duggar, Duggar Music Corner. Thank you so much for supporting me after all these years, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.
I'm sorry that you're jaded. I could have taken you places. You're lonely now and I hate it. I'm sorry that you're jaded. I'm sorry that you're jaded.